aki következik, gondolatok a 30 körül, Anthony Pangilinan, jól mondtam? Jól mondtam szerintem. Fülöp-szigetekről érkezett hozzánk ma reggel, 4 nemzetközi konferencia és 2 maraton között. Utoljára szerintem én Anthony-t akkor láttam, amikor a Bükszent kereszti kocsmában tartott nekünk előadást. Úgyhogy köszöntünk téged!
I did not understand, but it sounded good. Thank you. If you will allow me, and I'll explain in a minute why. On my way here, well, before I left, I called Akos. I messaged Akos. I said, my friend, what is it that you would like me to speak on? And he said, let's simplify it. Whatever that you have learned, what it is that you have learned the last 30 years of your life. I said, okay, that's not on file. And even if it took me 20 hours to get here, that was quite a challenge, my friend. The most reflective trip I've taken in a long time. And it didn't help that he gave me 15 minutes for it, right? But I'm not one to back off a challenge, so here we go. I sit here and share with you my reflections on the plane. The 6 things that I have learned most important in the last 30 years of my life. But to set the stage, if you allow me, I'm a consultant and trainer like most of you. Could you all stand up, please? Yes, please. Could you all stand up, please? Could you face a partner? No choice, somebody near you. Face a partner? Okay, when I say go, and wait for my cue, I'd like you to greet this partner. Okay? I'd like you to greet this partner. When I say go, wait for my cue. Okay? But this is what's in your mind. This person took out a loan from you and hasn't paid you in the last 5 years. Okay? This is the situation. It doesn't help that this person you're about to greet speaks behind your back all the time. And it further doesn't help that you found out that this person contracted a highly contagious, infectious disease last night. But you're professionals, right? This is your 30th anniversary, so you're going to see each other. How will you greet each other? Ready? Don't look at me, look at your partner. Set. Go. Okay, that is less than 20% compliance. Okay? Now, change your mind. You're going to greet this person again. Okay, you're going to change your mind. But this is what you call your BFF. What's a BFF? Your best friend forever. Okay? You miss this person. You haven't seen each other for the last 5 years. You've been looking online, offline, and suddenly here on your 30th anniversary, you meet someone you've been looking for the past 5 years that you miss terribly. You also found out that this person won the $100 million mega lotto last week. So how would you greet a long-lost BFF who just won $100 million mega lotto last week? Ready, set, go! Okay, that's enough, that's enough. It's just your imagination. It's okay, thank you. Can you take your seats? From compliance, amazingly, to commitment within a few seconds. Because of how did we shift from compliance to commitment? From being close to being open. From minimum to maximum. What was the key? Mindset. And how long did it take for you to change your mind? Amazing. I invite you to reopen your mind for the next few minutes. 6 things perhaps that you already know, but I believe are worth reconsidering. Number one, 6 realizations. Transforming, at least in my experience, is more important than succeeding. Transforming is more important than succeeding. I got a call sometime back from a senior executive of Citibank of Asia Pacific, Human Resources and Training Consulting. He said, Anthony, can I have some coffee with you? I'd like to share an experience I had just recently, in fact, just last week. I said, sure. We got a chat, and he told me how he had gone to America for 2 months with his family for bonding. But no bonding happened. My kids went on their own. So I came back last week with my family, and I asked my 18-year-old son if he could spend a round of golf with me, since we didn't spend time together in the US. And after that game, my son looked at me in the eye and he said, Dad, this is the first time you've spent time with me alone. And he said, son, I have been working for you all my life. And his son said, Dad, you've been working for your company, Citibank, and for yourself all your life. And Ricky, that's his name, looked at me and said, Anthony, we got to do something about this city that never sleeps. The tagline, right, of Citibank. And that started a balance of life and a trade-offs of life program that we conducted for over 2,500 senior managers all throughout the organization. It's not what we do, it's how we do it. I guess one precedes the other, right? With transformation comes success. Number two, having annoying people around you sharpen you like no other. Look at that person beside you and thank him for having annoyed you. I'm looking forward to the next few days with Akosh and my team. Guys, we've spent time. When was the last time, Akosh? 30, 31? Alfredo, 32 years ago. Alfredo, you were one of the most annoying colleagues in ISEC. But you have sharpened me like no other. I've learned that, and I guess you know this, that there are at least 2 kinds of people that you meet. One who are great blessings, channels of blessings, and others are opportunities for learnings. And if I look at people this way, I will never lose. Either you will bless me or you will teach me. So once again, say thank you to your seatmate. Come on, say thank you. Thank you for 30 years of annoyance. Come on. Oh, just 5 years of annoyance, he said. I have a Twitter account. Not as many followers as my kids and my wife. But the most reposted of all my tweets had to do with toxic people. How online everyone advises everyone else to avoid toxic people. And I tweeted that we should think twice when we avoid toxic people. Many of them don't intend to be toxic people. It's circumstances, it's challenges, it's situations they find themselves in. And who knows, someday you might be the toxic one too. And you wish that people around you will not give up on you. Lesson number 2 is having annoying people around you sharpen you like no other. Lesson number 3, just 6. Individual effort can help you survive, but it's collective action that makes you thrive. I had an anti-human trafficking organization in the Philippines as part of my advocacy. It's called Call to Rescue. In the Philippines alone, in 2016, 38,000 cases of online sex exploitation of children. 2018, last year, 600,000. 2,000+% increase in 2 years. The Philippines is one of the biggest providers of children for sex online, alongside a few countries from Eastern Europe. And for us to save one child, amazing time spent with the local police, with the federal agents who will not talk to the police, with social workers who both the federal agents and police do not wish to coordinate with my corporate clients and partners for funding, with parents who often are the pimps themselves, with psychotherapists, volunteer psychologists, and counselors, because the work begins not before, but after the rescue. And if you have the heart to speak with the kids themselves, to rescue one child. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to rescue one child today. Could you all stand up, please? Could we point to the ceiling? Could you do clockwise circles? Pointing up? Could you please teach your seatmate what is clockwise? Okay, now, without changing direction, still pointing up, just go down to stomach level. Still pointing up, same turn. Now look down. Is it still clockwise? Is it still clockwise? It shouldn't be, right? Right? One more time, just be clear. Clockwise, pointing up. Now don't change the turn, same turn, still pointing up. Just go down to stomach level, look down. Is it still clockwise? It shouldn't be, otherwise you have problems with vision, right? This is the view of the consultant. This is the view of the client. This is the view of the child. This is the view of the parent. This is the view of the professor. This is the view of the student. This is the view of the audience. This is the view of the speaker. All views are correct. And the one who sees the most views becomes the leader of all. How many views and how many people do we work with in getting things done? The third lesson is, you can take your seats, thank you very much. That's the last time I ask you to stand, promise. Individual effort can help you survive. It's collective action that makes you thrive. Number 4, reacting to the unplanned. And again, this is something that I suppose you have experienced yourself, is more important than acting on what I have planned. Reacting to the unplanned is more important than acting on what I have planned. 90% of the quality of my family life depends not on what I plan to do when I come home, but how I react to what doesn't happen when I come home. Dr. John Maxwell, my mentor for the last 15 years, it's not what you do that matters in life. No, it's not what happens to you, it's what happens in you that matters most in life. It's not what happens to you, it's what happens in you. I finished a course recently, just about 3 weeks ago in INSEAD on change, Executive Master in Change. And if there's one thing I learned, is the need to listen to myself. Nothing I learned the first 20, 25 years of my life. There's cosmetic listening, there's conversational listening, there's active listening, which we teach. There is deep listening, that is listening to yourself. So why is it that every time this colleague of mine enters, even before he or she speaks, I close my mind? The issue isn't with a colleague, it's with me. It is so important to ask myself over and over again, and I invite you, is it my shit or his? Because if it's my shit, I should deal with it and not pass it on. One of my mentors, another mentor, Dr. Dennis and Peppa, why is it that we make the pleasant people of our present, sorry about that, pay the price of the painful people of our past? Why do we let the pleasant people of our present pay the price of the painful people of our past? It's how I react to the unplanned, not how I act to what I have planned. No one taught me this, and perhaps you yourself. I stumbled upon this in Webster's, Akosh, the dictionary, that to respond is to appropriately react. I thought they were one and the same. To respond is to positively react. You can never negatively respond, because to respond in itself is positive. And a positive response is a redundant phrase. And every human being has responsibility. The ability to react positively, no matter how negative the situation. It's not how I act on what I plan, it's how I react on the unplanned. Number 5, almost there. Total or trial and tribulation are proportionate to elevation. The bigger the trial and tribulation, the higher the elevation. Towards the latter part of our term, Michelle, I don't know if you remember this. I was contemplating quitting. I think you were contemplating from the very beginning, right? It was a tough job. And I had given many, many years of my life to that organization, and I felt that I had given enough. I received a note from my older brother, Kiko Francis, who's a senator in the Philippines today. And what he said changed me forever. He said, don't you quit, Anthony. You shine like a star because the world is getting darker. But you will notice, the darker the night, the brighter the stars shine. And when you shine, you don't shine for yourself. You shine so that those who are in darkness might see. I stood up, I looked out our AI window, and I said, bring on the darkness. It's a darkening world. And D. Hawk, CEO Emeritus of Visa International, had this to tell us, a group of 50 consultants, when he addressed us to teach us how to not just survive, but thrive in business today. D. Hawk, CEO Emeritus of Visa, he said, be a K-Ord. A K-Ord is one who accepted the chaos and is expecting even worse chaos to come, but has committed to provide order regardless of the situation. K-Ords. I don't ask for order from my boss, from my company, from my leadership. The order comes from me, the way I live my life, and I manage what is entrusted to me. And finally, your second half should be the best half of your life. I hear a lot of people, I used to say to myself, oh, the good old days. Well, then again, it's correct, because these are the better days. I was speaking to one of the top, most successful actors from the Philippines, decades, #1, a couple of years ago. I was reading a book, rereading a book, designing a program, working with Bob Buford, Halftime. You know this, changing your game plan from success to significance. And that book says that if you change your game plan from success to significance, the second half of your life becomes the best half of your life. So I went to him, his name's Eddie, Uncle Eddie. He was 85 years old, and Uncle Eddie's still busy. He died, by the way, a couple of months ago because of an accident on the set while doing a TV show. I said, Uncle Eddie, you gotta tell me, come on, the second half of your life has been the best half of your life. He made more money after 60 than the first 60 years of his life. He had more movies, more awards after 60 years old than the first 60 years of his life. He had more girlfriends after 60 than the first 60 years of his life. Come on, Uncle Eddie, the second half has been the best half. He looks at me and he says, you're wrong, Anthony. It's not the second half. It's the third half. For this 85-year-old, the best was yet to come. How is it for you? Let me close with this. 12 years ago, I think I ran my first triathlon at 42. And I ran that triathlon because I wanted to be in the company of those CEOs, my clients who invited me, you know, so why not? But without much training, I was a disaster waiting to happen. I survived the swim, barely made it to the bike course, but by the time it was for me to run, I had nothing left. So I looked for the best way to exit, right? Because there was a lot of media around, and you wouldn't want to be in the front page of that locality with a DNF. What is a DNF? Did not finish, okay? And just when I thought I had crafted my perfect escape, I hear someone go, Dad! My 10-year-old, then 10-year-old Ella, don't quit! You know what's worse? You're still not the last! What a motivation, right? But I don't care. I mean, last or first or midway. When your daughter tells you not to quit, you gotta not quit, right? So I didn't quit. I crawled in the finish line, except the last 2 meters because, you know, for Facebook and just look at there. And thank God I didn't quit. Because 5 years after, my daughter, then 15, was running her last Iron Kids race. And it was raining. She had fallen 3 times in the bike route. She was bleeding on her left leg. As she started to run, and I went to her and said, Ella, are you sure? You're up to this. And she looked at me and she said, Dad, just like you, I will not quit. And because she didn't quit, she won the gold. I just finished my race. She won first place. And what hit me then and there is that it's not just about you. It's what people will do after you. Because today, they're watching you. And they might even do better than you, right? That's the amazing thing. But when the time comes, they will account it back to you. Number 1, T. Transforming is more important than succeeding. Number 2, H. Having annoying people around you sharpen you like no other. Number 3, I. Individual effort can help you survive. It's collective action that makes you thrive. Number 4, R. Reacting to the unplanned is more important than acting on what I have planned. Number 5, T. trial and tribulation are proportionate to elevation. And number 6, why? Your second half should be the best half of your life. THIRT. Why? 30. May the next 30 years of your life be the best years of your life. Thank you very much.